Was there that going on when you cast?
I have to give a shout out to Sharon Bialy and Sherry Thomas, our two casting directors on Breaking Bad. Our Los Angeles-based casting directors who put this cast together. I basically had the wonderful good fortune of just sitting in a room and having the best actors in Los Angeles and some from New York and whatnot come in and audition for us. And Sharon and Sherry have exquisite taste. We also have a wonderful casting woman named Kira Arai in New Mexico who finds our New Mexico-based cast. But Sharon and Sherry found these folks. I mean, I had Bryan in mind, but all these other folks, they said, I think these are your best bets, and they were absolutely right. And the chemistry you guys have, all of you guys have with one another is marvelous. And ask Betsy about the X-ray technician.
The X-ray technician.
The very fact that you're...
Good question.
Thank you.
What?
Oh, I'm like...
It was going to be my next question, no.
I'm like,
about why you are... about why you are an X-ray technician.
Oh, I asked Vince when we were shooting the pilot, because, you know, he had some extra time. And I said, what does Marie do for a living? Because there wasn't a lot of, you know, I didn't have a lot of text. There wasn't a lot about her in the script. So you grab things. That's how the purple thing became so real. I'm like, I had purple. My character's color was purple. I'm like, okay, well, she is wearing purple, then she really loves purple, because that was just one thing I could, like, hang on to. And I asked Vince, I said, what does she do for a living? And you said, I don't know. Well, what do you think she does for a living? And I said, I think she's either an X-ray technician or an insurance adjuster. And you liked X-ray technician, and I thought that was great.
I don't remember the insurance adjuster because my dad was an insurance adjuster. I might have said,
I said
X-ray
technician. They said, but I said, or an insurance adjuster.
Really?
But in my heart, she was an X-ray technician, and I'm glad you felt that way too.
Yeah, and that's, and all joking aside, this is a good example of how this is a collaborative, evolving process. The process of writing versus acting versus directing, not versus, but it all works together. A lot of the ways that I saw these characters in the early days are not the ways I see them now because of all the many things the actors bring to the part. I would have never thought of Betsy being an X-ray technician, and I was a little rushed for time when she asked me that question in the pilot, and I said, yeah, sure, she's an X-ray technician. and then I thought,
God, if I would have known, I could have gotten anything.
I love it. She's a world-famous supermodel, yes. Which you could be, both you ladies. But the point being, I love the specificity of it. Actually, when Betsy said it on the set, the specificity of it was like, that's so freaking weird. Right? Yeah, why not? Sure. So but the point is, these actors bring so very much to the roles they play, and the characters that they are now, going into season 5, are not who they would have been if it was simply up to us writers, as hard as we work to make them flesh them out and make them full, living, breathing characters. That's only gets you, I don't know, a quarter of the way or something. The actors bring you the rest of the way, especially these actors.
Yeah. Now, Dean,
yes.
What's it like being married to an X-ray technician?
You're a lucky man.
And what a season you had, season 4, wow. I mean, and talk about challenging, and the whole story arc for Hank was really interesting, and I bet that was fun and challenging to play.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. It was definitely challenging. It was odd. It was an interesting season. Actually, I think Bryan at one point, I was just feeling kind of out of sorts, and he mentioned, he's like, maybe you're just like internalizing it too much. And I think that happened a bit. You know, it was a bit. You know, you wear a mask, and you can only wear it so long before it affects who you are. And if you're hanging out, you know, in that depressing kind of situation, it kind of wears on you a bit, you know. I mean, it's not supposed to, but it did a little bit. So.
Yeah, and the anger he feels, and everything.
The impotence, you know, was the biggest thing. I mean, in a larger sense, not just the. I'm not impotent. We figured it out.
I worked hard.
I voted for a little more than that, but. She wasn't bad. Gonna do one of these, you know.
I did 2 hands.
She was
I
cool
was.
about that. She hooked me up. She made me look good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
boy
anyway,
is
I mean
right
the
next to
impotence
you
in the.
now. Our son is right next to
I
you.
know,
Come on.
really.
He doesn't know any of this stuff yet.
No.
But he's
I like to
taking
keep
notes.
it that way.
Yes. Okay.
But the impotence in the larger sense of the word, you know, of being of not an ineffectual character, you know.
Yeah. And then watch him come back slowly as the season progresses and really get back into his game.
Yeah.
You know, and on this case, and to watch the two of you, you know, when the audience knows, but you don't, and you're right there.
You're not sure I don't.
It's like Les Miserables or something, you know. I mean, he's chasing him, but he doesn't know he's chasing him, and
Oh, so he's Javert.
it is a little.
Brian's
bit, you
going to
know.
sing the songs now. Yeah. That's a real possibility. I don't have the rights to them, but that may happen tonight.
But for you, getting to play this role and the different things, I know you played a lot of cops. You keep saying you played a lot of cops in your career and things, but this role I would think would be the pinnacle in terms of.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was great because we could stay with it long enough to peel back some of the layers and see some other things in them, you know,
Yeah.
which was obviously the unique element of this particular character.
What have you learned about the DEA too, and all of that?
You don't want to fuck with them.
Yeah.
They're good guys, you know. I actually hung out with a bunch of them. They're awesome, and they take me out shooting and stuff like that, you know. And I volunteered to be taken out shooting as often as I can. So they're good guys.
Yeah. Now, RJ, it's ironic that you're the youngest member of this whole crew here, and your character is the one that makes the most sense. He really is.
It's wild. I would have never imagined in 1,000 years that I'd actually be in this position, because literally when I got the role, I just started acting. I came out to LA for my little sister, and I got into an acting class to meet people, and who would know that 6 years later I'd be on season 5 of Breaking Bad. I trust me, I worked so hard. I did 5 auditions actually, 4 in LA and 1 in Albuquerque. And I did my screen test actually the same day that I did one of the auditions. They flew me out there. They had me versus one other person. And I went out there and did that, went back up to my hotel room and passed out. And next thing I know, they give me a call and go, "You're ready for your screen test." I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, come right downstairs." Did that and went back up to my hotel room and passed out again. And this is all before 7 a.m. And they called me a couple hours later and said, "Oh, you got the part. You can go back to LA, pack up, and come back to Albuquerque because we're shooting in a week." And I was like, "Wow, really?" This has been a dream job, and I literally, when I was looking for parts for me. I was looking for disability because I have cerebral palsy, and I was looking for a character that had it but didn't really have it at the same time, because all my agents were like, "Well, we can play the disability card now. we can use that and maneuver our way into a role for you." I was like, "Oh, perfect." And all the roles I were getting were like wheelchairs.